So tell me about a time when there was a challenging situation related to a physical activity or a sport that's happening like right now.
So right now, I'm still just trying to get used to the transition of just high school to college and like the sports and everything like that, and like missing out on the sports. So I think a big thing for me is just having consistent workout routine and finding the time to do that as well, because I'm trying to manage my time all at the same time as classes and everything. So it's gotten a little bit harder, but I think that the consistency will produce results, and so that's just I need to work on that.
Nice. So you mentioned like you had sports like from high school and then not so much in college. So did you have like a long history with high school sports and like that was kind of like an identity? Or...
Yes. So I did identify with my sports a lot. I played volleyball, soccer, basketball, and softball. And so I really just enjoyed the sports.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to fill my time, and like I found a good like time management that worked for me. But throughout high school, I definitely I played 4 years of volleyball and then 4 years of soccer. I couldn't play basketball at the same time because it's the same season. And then I played softball just because I was bored my senior year, and so that just kind of came in. And so I think that me working out was going to practices, and so that's changed a lot right now, obviously, because I'm not going to practices. So my workout schedule is a little bit more interesting, and I have to do it on my own. And I didn't think I realized it with my sports that I need to start my motivation on my own instead of in a team.
Gotcha. Okay. So going from a team to being by yourself, was that quite a shock going from like high school team organized sports to kind of on your own?
Yes, it was quite a bit of a shock. I know that in high school, like over the summer, like I'm trying to stay in shape, like I'm trying to be the best I can for the team and everything. But that team environment is just so different that I just like the competitiveness of it. So I enjoyed like going and having mandatory practice, having mandatory gym days where I'm lifting and like lifting with the team and like we compete against each other. So I really enjoyed that part. So solo is kind of a hard transition, but yeah.
Was it kind of different between different sports? You talked about soccer, volleyball, and softball. Did it vary, or was it all just kind of?
It kind of varied depending on the sport that I enjoyed the most. So for volleyball was my sport. So I really enjoyed that. And so I was always working in the off season, and like we had mandatory lift days, which in soccer we didn't. But sometimes, well, we did sometimes, but not as much as volleyball. And so volleyball was more, and the team was just my favorite thing. So I just enjoyed that so much. And then soccer was more, it was hard transitioning out of volleyball just because I enjoyed that into the soccer season. But I definitely worked on myself more solo than with the team because I was a goalie. So I didn't really have the same drills as them. So I was working on myself, I was disciplining myself. Like I was teaching other people as well, so I was training them. And then softball was just really for fun, and so I kind of just wanted something to do. We didn't really go and lift, we kind of just practiced and ran like on days, so that was a little different than the rest of the sports.
Awesome.
But,
did you like enjoy having any kind of solo time, or is there really kind of no enjoyment in that?
I honestly, I enjoyed like trying to discipline myself and everything, but I really didn't enjoy the solo time. Like I really liked competing because I am a competitive person at nature, so I like competing against other people, and I like having more reps than them. Like I try and get more reps, I try and do it faster and all that, so that really helped me.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense, definitely. This can be kind of a common issue among like really competitive athletes. I've heard other stories about people who played in college for a very intense level for a long time, and then like all of a sudden dropping off. Like what kind of help do you think there should be for post-grad athletes? Like for example, students here at GCU, what kind of like help or like resources they should have for when they graduate? Because there's not going to be anything after this for most people. So do you think there should be something, or like what would you think there should be? your ideas?
Yeah, I think there definitely should be something because that transition of just like having sports every single day, going to practice every day, and then going to something where you're not playing a sport or you're like, we're a D1 athlete, and then you go into real life and like you get a job and you have to balance that time. But personally, I think that exercise science has helped me because it's taught me like what exercises I should do and like how I should do them and the form and everything. And I feel like other people need that type of information in their lives, that they need to know how to work out and how to do it properly and not injure yourself, because they always have a coach there, or they always had like a teammate there to like help them out and correct their form and everything, but then they don't have that now, and I think they need that.
So for going to high school to college, like what reasons do you believe that like high school student athletes should keep being competitive in physical activity, like after high school, like making that transition? Like what are some core reasons why they should keep going with that?
Yeah, I think that just overall health is just the big thing, that high schoolers, I know that they're just young, so they don't think about their overall health and how it's going to affect them for the rest of their lives. But like after that step of high school is when you're setting the tone for the rest of your life as well. Like if you're not working out as soon as you get out of high school while you're young, like that's not going to set the great tone for the rest of your life and when you're an adult, have a job and all that. But I think that they should just keep going because it's just better for your mental health as well. Like that's another thing to touch on. Like the mental health is a big thing, and like where you take out your stress, and like if you're mad, if you're angry, if you're feeling all these emotions, like what are you supposed to do with those emotions? And working out is one of those reasons too.
Nice, good. So like if you had a freshman athlete come and ask for recommendations, like what has worked for you now that you've kind of like had that year to like settled in? So like what has worked for you, and like what would you recommend to incoming freshmen?
I think for me it's just finding something fun to do actively. So it's either like going out playing sand volleyball with friends. I tried the club sports, didn't really work out. It was too expensive and it was just a lot. But just having that fun working out, like it doesn't have to be a chore, like it can be fun. And like going to the gym with your friends, make it a social event. Invite someone to the gym if you want them to come with you, and like you just get closer too. So
Good. So you've had a really heavy sports in high school. Did you do club or was it just kind of school?
I did club for soccer and then volleyball sort of, but like not as much. But I definitely, in middle school, I was club soccer all the way, and like that's all I did.
So even going back to middle school, like you have a lot of hours and like habits and like health habits that have been dedicated around this. And then going straight to college is kind of like in the deep end. I had to figure things out. Had to try new things. Like not everything's gonna be the same for everyone. It's gonna be different. But you figure some stuff out. Like it doesn't have to be a solo event. Like you can still make it competitive, going with friends to the gym. Seems like that has worked for you. But yeah, awesome.
Okay. Cool.